Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another trading recap on Justin Low Stocks. So last night I traded CHKE. I had another red day, unfortunately. So around this time in the market, a lot of companies are coming out with their earnings reports, which is basically let you know how the company's going with their financials. And it's a real hard time to trade because sometimes stocks, believe it or not, will get good earning reports, but they weren't as good as they were anticipated to be. And so even though they're good, they still might drop in value because they weren't where they were expected to be. And so same on the downside. Companies wasn't looking real well, and they reported bad earnings, but they weren't as bad as initially expected. The price might rise, even though they have bad earnings. Don't ask how that works, but the market is the market, and you just got to go along with the market. You can't fight it. So it's a real hard time to trade around these periods because stocks will move in ways that are quite surprising. And CHKE, it was spiking up basically 80-90% around there, and I looked at the news on the stock, and the only news that it had was it basically reconsolidated its debts, which isn't good earnings. It's not proving that the stock's doing real well and hey, it's just come out with a new product, or it got cleared to start selling some medicine or anything like that. It was legit just consolidated its debts and refinanced. And I just thought, hey, why is that a reason for this stock to be going up 80-90%? It doesn't seem right. Yeah, okay, maybe they're saving money because they've refinanced their debts, but maybe I don't think that's worth a 100% increase in price. And you'll find almost can guarantee you that this stock will come back down, but because I shorted this today, and it didn't work out because it just had too much. It had too much momentum because look at all this buying volume, 12.5 million. This is normally a long I would do with just looking at the technicals, not factoring in the news, just looking at the technicals. So it's got unprecedented volume at over 12.5 million shares traded on the day, which hasn't been that many shares traded in the last year on this stock. And it's a downtrending chart, and it broke out of previous highs. So that is normally a long that I would go into, but after factoring in the news, which wasn't that exciting, I didn't think, that's the only reason why I traded it as a short and not a long. So that was the daily charts. Now here's the minute charts showing you where I entered this position. So as I said, it was spiking 80%, and then on the open it's just started ramping, and then I was going in short here because it opened up and it spiked, and then had a pullback, spiked again, but it didn't make a real convincing new high. It only beat that high by 3 cents. Went from 79 was the previous high to then 82.5 cents, and I was like, okay, that doesn't seem like a very good breakout of the previous high. And then it started selling off again. I'm like, oh, okay, this is going to happen. It's just going to spike up on the day. People realize the news isn't actually that good, and then the actual value of the stock will come down because all the momentum sort of wears off once they realize that the news isn't as good as expected. So I was looking to go in short here. Once I started seeing these big red candles, I went in short 1,000 shares here. So it's only a $760 position. But yeah, it started coming down. I was looking good. The one technical indicator I wasn't taking into account, which I should have been, was the VWAP and the 13-day EMA, which I've spoken about several times. Normally, if a stock's riding this and it keeps coming down and bouncing off it and going up, I should sell because technically it's a long play. It's not a short play. But I was sticking with my guns with the not so great news, and I thought it was going to gap up and fade. But it came down here, tested that, and then it re-broke a high, and I re-entered short because I didn't get a chance to be able to sell as it broke here. So I re-entered short on the new high, and I was looking for this to at least come down around break even or even around this low to sort of do a start of a head and shoulders pattern, thinking the shoulder, the head, and then another shoulder. But if it came down here, I was going to sell out, so around the 72, because I would have made a little bit of money off that initial entry, but I would have made a decent amount off that second entry, because that's 10-12% from my second entry. So that was what I was aiming for, and it started coming down and it was putting in lower highs and it was looking good. And then it broke out of this wedge pattern, but again it didn't have heaps of volume. As you can see down here, there's heaps of volume here, heaps of volume here. It didn't have a whole lot of volume, so I was like, I'll hold on to this unless it breaks over that point there, which is the previous high where I initially shorted. Then it came back down and it ended up breaking through that high, and I went, nah, I just got to cut it. Because again, like I say in all the videos, you don't know how high it can go. It could have went to $1.50 and you end up being, you know, down 50% of whatever money you put into the stock. So I had to just cut my loss there. Again, real good timing, because 90 cents, it only got up to 97, and then it came back down to where I had my profit taker, around the 75 cents. And then yeah, it came down even worse later on in the day. But yeah, at the time, you just gotta work with what you see, and it was making a new high at, you know, 40 minutes after market open. That's showing the stock had strength, so I had to sell out. I had a 200 and you'll be able to see on my Instagram at JLOWE4 or my Facebook page. I'm putting up some Facebook stories at Justin Low Stocks as well. It's my Facebook page. I think I went down 230, 240 yesterday. So yeah, it wasn't great trading, but like I said, it's been hard times with the earnings reports coming out. We're not seeing a whole lot of, as I have this stock in front of me that went up nearly 100% today. We haven't seen that much volume in other stocks. It seems to be just one stock running per day. Normally you get a fair few that you can play with, but we're just having the one a day, sometimes not even one per day. So it's been a bit quieter in my opinion. A bit more harder to predict which way things are going. But yeah, we just got to work with what we've got, and I'll put out another video tomorrow of tonight's trades. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's green day again and recuperate some losses from today, or if not, make new highs. So yeah, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. See you later.